Da-na-na-na. Side chick. Da-na-na-na. Baby, I forgot about this series. Like you split it into two parts. Wednesday's doing spells now. Like I fear we lost the plot. And then on top, you know what? Roll my credits. Welcome back to another episode of Fair Hair. For the next 30 minutes, get your snackies. We will be discussing Wednesday season 2, part 1 and part 2. I'm probably gonna do like a little bit of like a synopsis of like each episode just in brief, so try to catch up. Every 3 minutes I'm gonna switch through. I'm doing my best because I don't know what's happening. It doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna do 3 minutes apiece for each one, and then I'm gonna do a review of all the parts for each one. So first things first, episode 1. So I'm laughing because they don't understand, like in the attention span. I have a video of that coming out. You can't be splitting this into 2 parts. Anyway, so episode 1, we are talking about, we're thus back into it. Just a couple of updates. Wednesday is chasing a cornflakes delifer, and it's Haley Joel Osment. Hello, I see people who aren't here anymore. And then Enid is not with Ajax. She's with a new guy, Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. And then Pugsley is at Nevermore. Puberty, like he looks way tall. Like, who is that? The beekeeper is supposed to be his friend, but he doesn't really want to be his friend. Xavier, basically, the actor, if you guys know, like the controversy behind him is that he was not doing good things. So he's in Switzerland, so he sent her. I put on here real life canceled, and then pretty much like that's episode 1. Just bringing everybody back up to date. He's still in his cage, the high that she was like feeling last week, that she did a dance with my hands. So that's pretty much episode 1. It was okay, but it dragged a little bit. Like I wasn't really like pulled into it, but I know they usually pull you by episodes 2 or 3. So that's pretty much it. So her mom, Morticia, ends up moving into the school as well to be closer to her as she gets her, because she's had black tears, which is a sign of psychic exhaustion, because like she has her power as a raven, because her mom is a dove. Her power is that she can see visions and locate people. Basically, she has the power of sight, so she wants to stay closer to her, and so she's living on campus. They have a new headmaster as well. Very Harry Potter. So season 2, Hyde, basically, Hyde's father gets de-lifed by a field of crows. So this opens up a new mystery for her to solve, which, like I said, like, I don't know where we lost the plot, but I guess it's Wednesday in the mysteries. I don't know what happened. But basically, basically Tyler, his father, gets de-lifed by a field of crows, showing that there's a new player on the board. So she visited him in the asylum. This is an iconic read. She said, "I don't need to visit again. I already take up space." I was like, in your sick, twisted head. I was like, okay, third Wednesday, not the little one. She did her thing with that. I was like, the next time somebody try me, and I'm working on that. I was like, so this is what I was trying to be. I was like, I don't got to visit you. I already take up space in your head, you know. But anyways, so Enid ends up getting kidnapped, and Bruno's a werewolf. So like they're like having their own little moment. And then it turns out it was from Invisible Girl. Like basically, her name is Agnes. And I'm just like, why they give this young girl Agnes? Basically, she's like a super fan of Wednesday, and she just wants to be just like Wednesday and have her back and all this blah blah. So she basically had the Invisible Man be like, oh, what's not bread, or like she basically gave like a mystery, because you know Wednesday is she has her father's thirst for righteousness, but also her father's thirst for a mystery to solve. Because technically, when you're an attorney, because her father's an attorney, when you're an attorney, you're basically solving a mystery. Who did it, and how can we help them lie about it? You know, but. I have that on there too, but that's pretty much like episode 2. And of course, you know, being back at Nevermore, we see, can't think of her name, siren goddess. She's so beautiful. I can't think of her name. Bianca. I'm back. Anyway, so Bianca's there, and they get rescued. So Bruno and Enid, they're very close. So like they're trying to like say what's going on, but you know, Ajax, you know, the Gorgon, you know, Medusa's king. You know, she hasn't really broken off with him, just kind of dragging him along, which to me, I feel like that's also was very messy of Enid. Like, you know, if you like Buddy or not, and like dragging him along, like, I feel like I have done it before in the past, like when I was young. Okay, hey. But I've also had it done to me before where it's just like, if you're not feeling the girl, just let me go. You know, just let me go. Like you're wasting time. You're wasting my unlimited free minutes from T-Mobile. You're wasting it. So I thought that was very messy of her. So we're gonna go ahead and go into episodes 3. So this is talking about Goody's book. So Goody's book is basically like a book of witchcraft. But like I said, like as someone who's pretty much rededicating her life to God, period. Definitely I did not want to go over the episode, but I was told you got one more. You got one more before you do, because I'm just like, to me, like it's just getting, I'll say I'm overall view in the end, but like it's getting to the point where like I don't know if I can truly watch Wednesday if they're gonna keep going down this path. So this book is basically a witch book, and so the mom and Morticia's like, I'll fight you to the battle to do this. And so Ophelia's her sister. So Slurp is basically they fight, and then she loses. Wednesday loses because she was Morticia was just like, I taught you everything you know, but I didn't teach you what I know. I'm just like, okay, girl, not Miss Ma'ams. Anyway, so Slurp, which is Pugsley's pet, basically is a zombie that he reactivated to life because he has electric powers like his uncle Fester. So there's a red-eyed crow that comes like to each, like there's a red-eyed crow that's been going around, so we don't know who that is. I don't know who's familiar it is. Gideon, basically, he was the cult leader for Bianca's mom. So she had control over him, turned him in, and so now Bianca's hiding her mom there. So they end up going to Camp Jericho, like, which I'm just like, that's cool. Nevermore kind of low-key fun. A little messy, but low-key fun. But so basically Camp Jericho, similar to like the movie like from the 90s, Camp Jericho with Christina Ricci. They try to battle like flag battle, which I thought was really cool. Like, you gotta get this flag battle. Like it gave just very much very old school. So Ajax and Enid, she finally breaks up with him. And professes her feelings for Bruno. And then I have FOBI. That's what Wednesday said. Basically, fear of being included. So she's afraid that someone's gonna try to include her in something. But yeah, like that's pretty much what goes on during the camp. Of course, they're trying to hide Slurp, because he brings Pugsley brings his pet Slurp, basically pet zombie, who, you know what zombies eat, they eat brain, you know. So he starts going off on that too, so he's trying to like control him. But yeah, overall, like I did feel very uncomfortable watching certain pieces of it, because I was just like, this looks like witchcraft, fam. Like, I don't know, season 1 did not have the same vibe. Like, it did not have the same vibe. Like, it'd be like one of those things where I don't know if I'll review another episode that keep going like this, or I might watch it and then just not review it, because like conviction. Anyway, so episode 4, it says, of the woes we could talk. So this is going to be the conclusion of part 1. So episode 4. So basically the doctor comes to see Hyde, basically Christina Ricci basically comes to see him and try to be like, oh, my pet, and then like he starts getting mad at her, which I'm just like, listen, you can only control somebody for so long before they had up to here with you. So she thinks you can come back and control him, but he cannot be bothered, because the thing about a Hyde is the fact that they do not, like, the thing about a Hyde is the fact that like they cannot go without a master, or they'll be mentally insane. Uncle Fester's here, so he basically electric powers, gets committed to Willow Hill. So Willow Hill's where they're holding Tyler, gets committed there, and so he can get access to what's going on, like the true notes or whatever, the paperwork. And then so basically the grandma, they asked Morticia to ask her grandmama that, hey, can you get your mom to make a sizable donation because she runs a funeral home and she's like a millionaire, gazillionaire. I don't know. She has a lot of money. Her hair looks good. I don't know. So basically, that doesn't work. So what the headmaster ends up doing, he ends up telling Bianca, hey, I need you to convince Morticia, like basically like siren voice her to convince her mom and ask her mom about it. And so so they get into the psych asylum. And they get into the psych asylum, all that, blah blah. Finds out there was an aviary, basically like the girl from Princess Diaries, her Lily from Princess Diaries. It turns out that he's finishing her father's good work, and basically what ends up happening with that is that she been doing experiments under Willow Hill, and so she ends up getting got. So she ends up getting got, but she ends up escaping as well. And then everybody escaped because they pressed the button and all the monsters got released. And then Tyler ended up throwing Wednesday through a window, which I'm just like, I mean, she ain't what she 89 pounds soaking wet. Like that should have been done, but it shows that she's in a coma and the movie the series part 1 ends. And so basically after that, she saves a woman who was like locked up as well. She saves a woman who was locked up, agent. I forgot what the prisoner number was, but basically she ends up saving her too because she's in the corner. And so after that, Stonehurst, okay, princess, okay. Yeah, so she gets thrown from a window. So that's pretty much it. My overall review of part 1, I feel like I get what they were trying to do, you know, like I understand what they were trying to do with this season, but like there was something there that I couldn't quite put my finger on it, that was almost like they were trying to, you know, like it didn't feel like it didn't feel like the pacing. It felt like they were just like, we don't know if by the time we release this, people are still going to be interested in the show, which they are. Like it's one of the top shows on Netflix right now. Of course, no one's topping Demon Hunters, but it's just like, to me, I felt like there was like certain paces. It was obvious that what is his name? Xavier was going to be her interest this season, but you know, we're only as good as our past, right? So I really felt like I could sense that they try to write their way around it. That's why there were certain parts. And then like I felt that was also why Morticia, they brought Catherine Zeta-Jones, that they brought her in as more of a main character this season, which she ate. Like every outfit was giving, you know. I know a lot of people still have a little bit of I'm trying to put it in words. Like, I know a lot of people still have a little bit of vitriol towards the way she's portraying the character. Like, she's a dove compared to her daughter being a raven, you know, like just how she's portraying the character. I think they're portraying it correctly. But I personally, like, if I could vote this versus season one was incredible. You know, this one, incredible, and there wasn't as much witchcraft and, you know, occultic, like, thing aspects in it compared to this one. This one definitely felt like... this one felt like they were really pushing a lot. Like, I don't know how to put it into words, but it definitely felt like there was a lot being pushed. Like, it just did not feel like, okay, they wanted this. Also, there was like certain parts that they rushed through, and then there's other certain parts that they kind of was like, okay, let's drag this, you know? So, I didn't like the fact that they had Enid with Bruno. Like, we just kind of pushed Ajax to the side. Like, I don't know, because like, I don't know if it was like she just needed a new love interest just to keep it spicy, but like the way they pushed him to the side gave very much, we don't like you anymore. It wasn't organic. Like, it was just like they just kind of pushed Buddy to the side. I was just like, what is even going on? Like, I don't know. It definitely did not give what I thought it was going to give. And then also just breaking it, I'll do my overall review later on, but like just breaking it up into two pieces, it really kills the momentum. Like, I felt like when it was like Wednesday coming back, I was like, You could just watch this. Like, you gave us a trailer for part 2. You could have just showed us part 2. Like, it didn't make any sense. So, part 2. Da-na-na-na. Coma. She woke up and da-na-na. The Ball. Bridgerton meets Wednesday. Da-na-na-na. You know, so we're going to go into 3 minutes each for each one. So we're going to go into episode 5. So she comes out of the coma, and when she does wake up, she sees that Tyler is basically tracking her and seeing what she's up to. Patient 1938, that's what it is. 1938 is actually Tyler's mom, so she's a female Hyde that was able to actually able to have no master. The only caveat is that she's very sick, so she's been coughing up you know, blood. And so they have Dios de los Muertos, basically the return of the headmistress. Like, basically there's a spiritual guide, and so she's the original headmistress that was getting annoyed with Wednesday. So she's back as her spiritual guide, so she's there. And then the music teacher, the new music teacher has experience with a Hyde, because she sees when Wednesday is playing her cello, and she's like, hey, like, I have experience with a Hyde. Like, you can't try to control it, because Wednesday starts looking up different ways to try to control a Hyde, so she can truly have control over Tyler. I have on here too, the mom comes to look for Tyler as well, like she's looking for her son. But it's just this episode just kind of felt like you're trying to tell me, like, Wednesday, Jenny Ortega, she's like, what? I want to say she's 5'1". I want to say she's about 5'1", maybe 5'2", maybe 89 pounds. So she got flung through a window, through glass. I don't know if you've ever been through glass. I haven't. But you gotta have the force that you're using to go through the glass is what will take you out. It's not the fall. It's the force. Like, you're going through a glass wall. All right. And you trying to tell me she fell from a second floor on her back and she's just in a coma? She's just here. And so that's part, but yeah, this just shows just part 2, just like the after effects of everything. But yeah, like that part, like this episode kind of felt like it was supposed to bring us back in, but it didn't really. To me, my episode that really brought me back in was episode 7, the one I'm about to go into. But like this episode, just know that it was about the coma, her coming out of the coma, her basically reinventing herself almost, you know, because she wants to do it another way instead of going through Goody's book. So episode 7, one of my favorite episodes from the whole entire season 2. So basically, the headmaster actually found Gideon. He actually found Gideon, like he found him at a bar because he was just like, Gideon was like serving up Mai Tais or whatever, and he was like, hey, like I have a vision called the Morning Song Cult or whatever. And so he said, I have a vision, but they're not gonna take it from someone like me. And I'm just like, you right. Like, it's not me being mean, but like, no offense, but like one thing I can say that besides having charisma, most of these, can I say that, Bolt leaders, they have a particular aesthetic that they have to go by. And like the headmaster, like, not trying to be mean, but you know, his face is very creatively put together. So he said that. And so I have on here too that they basically, what ended up happening was that I think a lot happened in this episode. So Bruno was talking on the phone, and like I kind of picked up certain words. It said, can you talk now, or can you free? Like, it's basically, I don't know if it's his mom, I don't know if it's a side chick, but to me it gives in my gut that it's a side chick. Anyway, so I have this Wednesday meets Bridgerton. Basically they have a bowl, and basically they have a ball. It's really cute. I'll have a couple of those episodes up there. And then the grandmama, like the grandmama ends up donating because she gets Siren sung by Bianca after instruction from the headmaster saying, hey, I know what you're hiding your mom here. Because like, it makes sense, because like as a headmaster, I should know the entire blueprint of the school. Like it shouldn't be like oh, I don't really know where that's at. I don't know where that's at. It should be where I should know the entire blueprint of the school. So when she was aghast that he found her, I was like, what are you even saying right now? What are you even saying right now? Anyways, but yeah, that was pretty much that. And then like the headmaster, so Pugly meets Da Vinci. So Da Vinci been eating brains, so he's becoming more and more human. So Da Vinci's like, hey, you're my only friend. So as he becomes more human, turns out Da Vinci is Tyler's uncle. I'm just like, small world. And so he's Tyler's uncle. And so the headmaster I have on here too. The headmaster confesses to everything, pretty much says like my whole agenda, which I think that's kind of funny. That it's very similar to Harry Potter, but the headmaster or the defense against the dark arts teacher always has some agenda going on. So I thought that was pretty cool. So episode 6, Black Pink in your area. So basically, basically the episode starts with Wednesday in primary colors. And so, the episode starts with Wednesday in primary colors, and basically what ends up happening is just that because Wednesday went to ask the Raven, basically Lady Gaga goes and asks the Raven about whatever. She ends up getting pulled out of it beforehand, so she ends up switching bodies with Enid. She's switching bodies with Enid so she can see how she does during the day, and then like basically the whole purpose of that was the fact that the purpose of her dressing in bright colors, giving people hugs, dancing or whatever happily, was the fact that Enid overheard that like from Agnes that, oh, I thought you didn't like her because of all her bright colors and her predisposition. So she pretty much goes and embarrasses her, but turns out that she's actually really allergic to primary colors. So she ends up taking like a bottle of these allergic pills that Morticia, her mom gives her, which me personally, like, I've gotten to a point where, like, because I talk to people, I'm talking to their spirit. That's why, like, I only keep good vibes around me, because I'm really good at being able to decipher whether or not somebody has, like, I'm really good at being able to decipher whether or not somebody has, like, really good vibes to them, or they're just here to, like, run their mouth. Anyways, but by Pink in your area. And then it turned out that Enid is actually an alpha. So alphas, they have a tendency to be alone, but also with having her be an alpha as well, once she turns it during a blood moon or whatever, like she's gonna be stuck in that form. And so basically, I have, what is that? Black Raven's Gaze. Okay. Rosaline Rotwood, that's Lady Gaga. And then so basically the journals from Ophelia is in Grandma's house. As they have switched bodies, she has it where, as they have switched bodies, like she has it where, like Wednesday and Enid's body went to their house. And then she was like looking for Goody's journal, which she couldn't find because Morticia hid it like a smart person would when their kid says that they want to do something. Okay, like I was like, why wouldn't they? But anyways, that's pretty much the end of the episode. Just leave it at on Ophelia's journal. So they're gonna spend the next, I don't know, episode trying to tie up all the loose ends some magical way. So that's why I was kind of like, I don't know. I was kind of don't know about that. So this is the final episode. So basically I have on here that 3 generations of Doves, Raven skips, and then lost his power. So they basically told the origin story, which is in Tim Burton style. Basically what happened was that Gomez Addams was tricked by Da Vinci to save his sister, who was a Hyde, and he needed a power source because Gomez does electric powers, right? Like his brother and his son. So he pretty much does a power source, and when it was time to leave, Da Vinci used his hand. Oh yeah, side note, so thing is night, an anagram of night, because the hand is from thing is Da Vinci's right hand. That's why there was a ring. So basically that they end up fighting against that. And so I have on here too that Da Vinci, Isaac, uses his psychic powers to basically hold everything in place, and then they try to recreate the experiment again. So what ends up happening in this case, they end up using Pugsley by force. But the gag is that Da Vinci's sister, Tyler's mom, I feel like I'm talking about somebody, your cousin on your grandma's side, divided by 3 is, basically what ends up happening is just that it was a promise that he fixed Tyler and not the mom. So what ends up happening is that Tyler breaks free, he gets mad, and so anyway, so like the headmaster, side note, at the ball, the headmaster, basically the Gorgon Ajax pretty much froze him, and then like the ceiling came down and cracked him. So now they have no headmaster yet again. I have on here too that Ajax was just like, oh, we can try being friends. I was like, Ajax is a better person in it, because after getting confirmed, side note, when they switched bodies, after getting confirmed, because Wednesday speaks Tagalog, native to Filipino, like their language. So anyway, so she found out that he has a side chick, so she ends up flying in on a red eye, which I'm just like, how much money do we have? Do you know how much money it costs to fly in? Anyways, so she ends up flying in on a red eye, and she's like, oh, you're really pretty, or blah blah. I'm assuming it's one of them arranged marriages where, like, you know, he gets to sow his royal oats in London or wherever they're at, and then they get to America, and then like when he's done playing around, they can come home, whatever. But that's pretty much it. It just ends with turns out Ophelia's been in the grandmama's basement, and Wednesday is going on an adventure with her Uncle Fester. So that's pretty much the setup for season 3. All right, so my overall review, I'll do of like all episodes 5 through 8. I feel like they did themselves a disservice by breaking into 2 parts, because it's just like it's like you're getting worked up and they're just like, see you later. Like they kind of did themselves a disservice by doing that. And then as well, I was gonna put down here as well, like I just like there was just so much occultic concepts that I was not comfortable with. Like there is a difference between your just, you know, putting in here because it makes sense, but this just felt like, hi man, you know, I can't watch y'all anymore. Like it's just kind of like, it's just, I don't know, it did not give what it was supposed to do, you know. So that was really disappointing, because I was like, we open it and she's doing a seance, I was like, you know, like we done, you know. But another aspect too is just that like it just very, very blatantly obvious that Xavier was supposed to be a main character in this season. Like you can just tell he was. Like there was like so many different aspects. I was just like, he was supposed to be a main character in this, and he was not. I also feel like there was a lot of rushing. Like I felt like we were trying to find out this mystery about when Enid got kidnapped by Agnes for so long. I was like, dang, like didn't we that long? But overall, set up for season 3. I can't sit there and say that I'm looking forward to season 3. I feel like they set up for like with Ophelia, her aunt, who's also a Raven, you know, like who can like it might be hinted that the Raven, because like the Raven that's been watching with the red eye, because it says Wednesday Addams must not be here anymore. That's what Ophelia wrote in her, because her grandma was keeping her. Which I mean, as a mom, like if your kid is a danger to other people, you're gonna try to still save them. So that part, I wasn't surprised that grandma was holding her in on her estate, you know. But it was just me personally, like there were certain parts I really like seeing Pugsley get older, and then seeing Pugsley get older, so the family time with him and his dad, you know, like him keeping the secret about it, and then finding out his dad had electric powers, but it got fried out of him. So that was really cool. Just getting the background, seeing more of Morticia, you know, because like I said, when I watched the Addams Family movie, like I expected to see the set, you know, like everybody saw, and not just be about Wednesday, but the show is called Wednesday. But am I looking forward to season 3? You know, I feel like I would have to see a trailer and see, but apparently, fun fact, the next time there's a season for the next season, not till 2027. And I'm just like, You're losing the momentum. Like, my niece will be in kindergarten by then. She was only freshly born when the movie first came out. Like, it's been 5 years. Don't forget to subscribe, share.